light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen.
Good morning. So blessed by you being here with us together. I am Sam Crutcher. I'm a practitioner here at this church. I'm delighted you've joined us in person and online via Zoom, our YouTube channel, and Facebook Live. If you are live streaming this service, please enter your location in the chat so we can see where you're watching us from. For those of you here in the sanctuary in person, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. Thank you. Excuse me. Let us join together in prayer. Let's find that inner space within us where we can connect with the Spirit of divine presence. I recognize and affirm that God is the source, the one mind, the one presence, the one love, law, light, beauty, joy. I know that we are all aligned in unique, individualized personifications of this presence. That God is the good to which there is no opposite. That God supplies, sustains, nurtures, embraces, and imbues us with all the traits of this loving, warm presence. I know that we are all uniquely guided and supported by this divine inheritance. Who and what we are is of God, that we are uniquely created in the image and likeness of that power and presence. I am buoyed and supported in knowing that each of us come together here to find communion in spirit, that we are loved, we matter, and who we are is divine and pure. I'm grateful for the musical support and guidance and inspiration by our musicians and our soloists, all the volunteers, the tech staff, the ushers, and by each of us by being here together to commune in spirit, knowing that good is in store for us through the talk that we are about to experience and be inspired by through Reverend Sidney. So in knowing that this is the truth for us all, that we are all divinely gifted, we are all children of God, and that we are all reaching together for a higher plane of existence and experience, I am grateful. My heart is full of joy knowing that this is the truth for us. I say it is so. I release this into the spirit of law. I know it is so, and so it is. And together we can say, Amen.
God is life itself, and God is all that I am. I am part of the great mind of God, and God is all that I am. God is love, God is peace, God is life itself, and God is all that I am. God is life itself, and God is all that I am.
Please rise and join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Please remain standing for our congregational song, God is the Love That I Am. 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 And so it is. God is the joy that I am. God is the joy that I am. God is the joy that I am. And so it is. Every day and every way, I have everything that I need. When I say love is the way, I have every chance to succeed. God is the love that I am. God is the love that I am. God is the love that I am. And so it is. Where I go, I always know that God's forever on my side. As I grow, I'm in the flow. I only needed to decide that God is the love that I am. God is the love that I am. God is the love that I am. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.
And that's our band. Please be seated as we settle in. Let's take a moment to welcome our live streamers. Everybody wave to the camera where Terry in the white sweater is standing. Let's also take a moment to recognize and honor all of us here in the sanctuary with a loving namaste and a wave and a smile. Wonderful. Good to see all you welcome, warm faces here. We're going to meditate together for the next 5 minutes. I invite you to close your eyes and silently repeat the mantra, God's the love that I am. If your mind wanders, just bring it back to silently repeating, God's the love that I am. I will bring us out of our meditation in 5 minutes.
to the lady who has given all her life and love to you? What do you give to the reason you are living? I could window shop the world before I'm through. Mama, a rainbow, mama, a sunrise, mama, the moon to wear. That's not good enough, no, not good enough, not for mama. Mama, a palace, diamonds like doorknobs, mountains of gold to wear. That's not rich enough, no, not rich enough, not for mama. Mama, a lifetime crowded with laughter. That's not long enough, not half long enough. What can I give you that I can give you? Mama, a lifetime crowded with laughter. That's not long enough, not half long enough. What I give you that I can give you, what will your present be? Mama, young and beautiful, always young and beautiful. That's the mama I long to see. That's for mama with love from me. What can I give you that I can give you? What will your present be? Mama, young and beautiful, always young and beautiful. That's the mama I long to see. That's for mama with love from me.
Ah, what can I give you? Happy Mother's Day. And I want to say this correctly. Feliz Dia de las Madres. Well, no, don't applaud me, applaud them. So, there's a quote from Emerson that I love. When you were born, you were crying and everyone else was smiling. Live your life so at the end you're the one who is smiling and everyone else is crying. Now, my talk today is titled All Moms Everywhere All at Once. All moms everywhere all at once. And so I just want you to know, because we're going to be looking at the idea of the divine feminine, the divine masculine, all of those things which are separate from the idea of female gender, male gender, non-binary, binary. It is about that divine creative process that takes place through, in, and as all of us. So here's the proof of that. First of all, if you are a mom, would you please stand and remain standing? If you are a grandmother, stand and remain standing. If you are a great-grandmother, stand and remain standing. If you are an aunt, stand, remain standing. If you are a sister, stand and remain standing. If you have ever known anybody who has children, stand and remain standing. If you are not standing, what I want you to know is you still are part of the divine feminine, because even if you perhaps you pushed through into this world by means of in vitro, that's the word, fertilization, you still at some point came through a female type person. So stand. Now, if you are a man and you've ever parented or known children, please stand. If you are a grandfather and you have ever known people who have raised children, okay, everybody should be standing now. All moms everywhere, all at once. Okay, you can sit down. So mystical scholars believe that we are in a time of shifting from being anchored in the male or divine masculine energy protocols, just that influence, to more of the female or the divine feminine energy. So as not to alienate or offend, I want to give you some richer meaning around this. And I absolutely promise that this is not an anti-man, anti-male, or anti-masculine theme I'm offering today. It's that we are all of us, are both male and female energies in the physical, mental, spiritual bodies we inhabit. And it's really important to know this. So while the words divine masculine or divine feminine might sound kind of new agey or woo-woo, the truth here is that decades ago, Carl Jung taught about the play of the masculine upon the feminine and the feminine upon the masculine. And we are both of that. So regardless of how we identify, we have within us both the initiating capacity of the masculine and the receptive capacity of the feminine. So just be with that for a moment. We have all of that. So just for today, perhaps suspend the ideas that you might hold in your mind about what male means and what female means, and instead recognize how life unfolds and creates by means of both of these ideas. Ernest Holmes wrote this about the masculine principle. It is the assertive principle of being. Isn't that wonderful? The assertive principle of being. It is the self-propelling power of spirit, the projective principle of life, impregnating the universal soul with its ideas and concepts. Oh, I just love that. It's such a full, juicy idea. The feminine principle, the soul, has been called the womb of nature. If you're in this room, you have a soul. And if you're out of this room, you have a soul. It's been called the womb of nature and the Holy Mother because it is receptive to the Spirit. It is receptive and is impregnated with divine ideas. It gives birth to the ideas of Spirit and is therefore the feminine principle of nature. We are all of that. In other words, we are both. And we require both that masculine, and divine feminine in order to create within our imaginations and then to manifest in the world. Everybody with me so far? Yes, ma'am. Oh, my God. I do feel old. My son called and said, Happy Mother's Day to me, and I thought, wow, I never thought I'd live to see the day that happened, but, you know, because he generally forgets. He's a good kid, but he forgets, so I just busted my son. Okay. The father principle within us is the word of divine creation. It's the word of divine creation and possibility. But without the divine gestation, that receptivity, that womb, that holy mother place, it remains abstract. So that mother principle within us is the soul. It receives the inspiration and both nurtures and births the idea in form. This is what we call the creative process in the individual. We are replicating exactly what is happening in the greater, the macrocosm of this universal mind, this God presence. Whether you call it God or mind or life or light, we are extensions of that. Esther and Jerry Hicks say that we are extensions of source energy. What you will hear at this place often is we are one with the one, or I am part of God. I am one with God, one of God. And it all means the same thing, that we come from this infinite, magnificent, glorious source that is limitless in creation, limitless in expression and possibility. And we are, as Emmett Fox said, we are chips off the old block. That which is true about God, those qualities are absolutely innately within us. Now, we seek to teach that and encourage that idea here because so many of us have never heard that. And also, I'm going to say that most of us, we might have heard it, and on our good days, we remember it, but there are other days we walk around and we go, oh, God, I forgot, I'm a child of God. I forgot, I'm one with the one, because we tend to perceive ourselves as being separate. And when we perceive ourselves as being separate, that's when we put up sort of a force field around us so that we are not receiving the inspiration, the guidance, the ideas, that which can lead us into a greater unfoldment, a greater knowing of ourselves and everyone else around us as beloved creatures of spirit, creations of spirit. Spirit is the Father, Mother, God, this is Ernest Holmes, because it is the principle of unity back of all things. The masculine and feminine principles both come from the one. There's another way of putting it. Cause is both masculine and feminine in its nature and includes the principle of creative activity. Okay, now that's a lot of left-brainy stuff. So let's get granular and make it a little bit more relative to us, okay? I know it can be challenging sometimes to orient myself around this broad concept of the masculine and feminine. And it might be challenging for you, especially if you grew up in a family or situation where the ideas of mother or father didn't live up to the expectations or the models of Father Knows Best, the Brady Bunch, or even Roseanne. I like to call this modeling the sitcom nation. And so many of us were raised in the sitcom nation. And I don't think any of us really grew up with that idealized experience. It was a lot of everything across the board. And it might have really focused over here, it might have focused over here, but we have our own backgrounds and our experience. And I want to say that most of us, even if the norm in our families of origin or where we grew up was loving and healthy, we still came away with levels of confusion, of fear and insecurity because we also participate in the mortal collective mind, the collective unconscious, the race mind we call it, that the collective thinking of the world, which is something that we participate in. It's not all bad, it's not all good, it's just that every thought that has occurred is still in that collective consciousness, that collective mind. And so if we have grown up with a knowing of love, we will certainly expect and experience that. But if we have grown up with a knowing of not love, then we are absolutely going to experience more of that because that is the perception we have, that is the understanding we have, that's the model we have. And yet, one of the things that we teach here, and we're just about complete with the class that I've been working with about 20 students called The Creative Process in the Individual. That's the book from Thomas Troward. And what he said, and it's so important for us to remember this, is that spiritual principle is absolutely not bound by precedent. So what has happened before does not limit what is happening now, what is happening in the future. And we are not bound by that either. We get to move beyond that. We get to rise above that. And that is a choice that we have to make, to rise above that mortal mind that says it's always like this, or it's always bad, or there are limitations, or you can't do that because of where you came from, who you are, how old you are, what your gender is, whatever those ideas are, we have the choice to move beyond them. So one of the authors I like a lot is a man by the name of Howard Thurman. Now, Howard Thurman was one of the main teachers and mentors for Dr. Martin Luther King. And this is what he had to say about the master teacher, Jesus. Jesus' message focused on the urgency of a radical change in the inner attitude of the people. Living in a climate of deep insecurity, Jesus, faced with so narrow a margin of civil guarantees, had to find some other basis on which to establish a sense of well-being. So Jesus realized that the conditions were around, that there were things going on. As you and I look around and we see that there are things going on, and frankly, we look at that and it's easy to get caught up in it and to believe and to think and to really live from the perception that it's not going to change anytime soon, which is fine. That's okay. But you know what we can change? That knowing of ourselves. That's what we can change, because all of it happens from within here. It starts from within here. And that's what Jesus was talking about. So he was a Palestinian Jew living in occupied territory. The Romans at that time had enacted, right around that same time that Jesus was teaching, get this, over 600 laws. 600 laws. And they were all in the realm of restricting people's activity, their actions, their movements, all of that, because it meant that if you did something wrong, there was a greater possibility of being locked up. And if you can lock someone up for being a disruptor, then maybe you've stopped the disruption. So Jesus looked at that, and in fact, that quote comes from a book called Jesus and the Disinherited. And Jesus looked at that and said, okay, there are some things that cannot be legislated, that cannot be limited, that cannot be ruled illegal, and one of those is love. One of those is love. In fact, Elie Wiesel wrote about this after being in the camps in World War II. And he said, I looked at my captors and realized that I, with my knowing of myself as an infinite being, and I'm paraphrasing, found that I had a greater freedom in captivity than they did, my captors. That's very profound, because you and I have this place within us, this magnificent mind which participates with the mind of God. And as we orient ourselves around that idea, we get to be inspired by that. We get to be guided by it. We get to be living in and as that. That's key to what we teach here. And that idea of principle not being bound by precedent, by anything that has happened in the past, means that we all have a new day, a new beginning, a new opportunity with every breath. With every breath. I want all of us to be able to conceive of new and greater ideas about who we are and what is possible in our lives. And the great lesson for us is not just who we are in God, but who God is in us. Not what we are in God, but what God is in us. One of my friends said she really likes it when I say there is something radically right about you. And I say that in my talks. And there is absolutely something radically right about you. There is something radically wonderful, magnificent, perfect in you. It just may be that nobody ever told you that. And yet there's a part of you that resonates, even vibrates, even if just lightly, recognizing there must be something more. So as we work to conceive and perceive greater ideas about who we are as spiritual beings, begin to fashion a way of living within that, orient ourselves around possibility, about the infinite possibility that resides within, the spiritual presence that resides within and around us. Sometimes it's going to seem like a lot of work, and it is. It is. The work, though, is not the work of struggle. It's not the work of struggle. It's not the work of laboring or exhaustion. The work is actually a journey of revealing, of discovery, of hope, of joy, and mastery. It's good work. So, we do believe that there is something radically right about each and every one of you. Whether you're in this room or you are live streaming, we want you to know that, and we want to offer the ways of cultivating that knowing of who you are. And how do we do that? How do we all start to become receptive and available to these greater ideas about ourselves so that we might live according to that? We might orient ourselves around those ideas and not the ideas of the mass race mental consciousness. How do we orient ourselves around this idea of the divine feminine, which is the nurturance, which is the birthing, the emergence, the possibility, the love? How do we orient ourselves to that when so much of what we might be going through or what we see wants to contradict that? And it does, frankly. I mean, I spoke last week about, you know, there are choices we can make. We can deny, we can acknowledge. We can acknowledge, or we can bury our heads in the sand. And I got to tell you, there are not enough yoga exercises on the planet for me to be able to bend over and bury my head in the sand. I'm just not that person. So I want to know that I can acknowledge and still not get taken out by it. And I think you probably want that too, right? So we teach a number of ways. We offer a number of ways for you to reveal that radical rightness about who you are. We have our Sunday and Wednesday services. They are wonderful. They are fun. You get to be in community. And we have classes. We have caring circles. All of these are open to everybody. We have community events open to everybody. We encourage you also to discover the power and the magnificence that can begin to emerge from within you through meditation, participation, tithing, and service. The greatest growth I have had has often been in those moments when I was so buried in my own stuff, in my own mud, and my own limiting ideas about my worthiness and what was possible for me, that I absolutely couldn't imagine a path forward, let alone a path of joy. Anybody ever been there? Yeah, I get it. So for many years, I have heard the voices of people like Dr. Mark in my head saying things like, if you are thinking of being of service, don't wait until you're better or whole to do it. Be of service now, and the wholeness will happen. And that is really powerful to me. You know, we often wait till we feel better, till we're happier, till we feel more connected, more energized before we think about going out in the world to help other people. We get the order wrong. We get that order wrong. If we want to feel happier, more connected and healthier and whole and worthy, we start with being out in the world to be of service. You know, there's this really big truth about vibrating at the energy of that which you long to experience, about inhabiting the space of that, about being the place of that, being that space for possibility. So it might be that which you are seeking is greater love, greater nurturing, that divine feminine experience of knowing that you are so cherished and so loved. How do you inhabit the space of that when you are so far over here and not believing it? You know, what I saw was that I needed to go from hoping fervently that the change would happen to me from out here somewhere, and I had to embrace that being of service, actually, and this is what's true, it provides a channel for healing and transformation to happen through me, because I become that energetic space. I become that vibrational equal. I become the manger. I become the manger. Ernest Holmes said that we actually replicate the divine creative process in our own lives. And I do know from my own experience that when I seek to replicate the divine masculinity of creativity and the divine feminine idea of receptivity and nurturing, the path unfolds before me. It unfolds before me. Now, do I spend my time technically left-braining going, okay, this is the masculine, this is the feminine, no. I go within and I trust my heart and say, who is it that I need to be? What do I need to be? What do I need to know? We have to provide an opening. We have to provide an opening. We need to be receptive to those greater ideas and those inspirations and those feelings for which we hunger. So we seek to not just become open, but to actually, as I said, inhabit that place now of strength, of nurturing, of heart. And hunger is, for many of us, the operative word, because we are hungering for that nurturing. We are hungering for that love. Have you ever wanted to feel strengthened and nurtured by love and possibility? I want that every day. So believe it or not, these qualities and feelings of being loved and nurtured and strengthened and seen by the divine, acknowledged by the divine, are available to each of us at any moment of any day. That mother energy of nurturing and support and kindness are the foundation of what Jesus taught. He taught and modeled kindness, compassion, and love. We yearn to experience kindness, compassion, and love. And we need to provide an opening. We need to show up for that. You know, there's so much of us, so many things that I love about this community. One of them is that we know the power of service to heal not just our own stuff, but the world around us. Because what it is that we seek to rise up, right? We seek to rise up above that which seems to pull us down. We seek to rise up and to see it from a higher vision, a higher possibility. We want to know that there is more, that there is greater, that there is so much more. And so one of the things that we are offering for you and for me and for all of us is that we have ways of being of service. And one of those is this magnificent thing that we put together years ago. I was not the one who founded it, but before COVID, the Love and Kindness Ministry started feeding people. It continued through COVID, once a month. Our volunteers were offering sandwiches, were offering food, and being of great service, because the people that they were serving who were homeless and experiencing deep levels of food insecurity, now they felt acknowledged, they felt seen, and they know that they were acknowledged and seen, and they were being actually nourished. So now this ministry, we've extended it to become something even greater. We call it now the Loving Outreach Ministry. We are moving from feeding just 35 or 40 people a month. We're doubling down. We're going to start feeding about 75 to 80 people a month. And when I say we, I mean we are going to be feeding that. You know, we had been at one location, and we noticed that the numbers were dwindling of who we were able to serve. And I really, really wanted to say, well, we must have solved hunger. That's that head in the sand thing again. But the truth is, there was a movement within us to go somewhere else. So now, as of next Sunday, which is the third Sunday of the month, we will be doing this every third Sunday. We are moving to Alexandria Park. Alexandria Park is immediately adjacent to the Tiny Home Village. The Tiny Home Village, if you don't know about it, provides shelter and housing for people who are homeless, who want to be safe, who want to be warm, and who want to also have the opportunity and the possibility to transition into a life of being able to work, of being able to function in society. So it provides that opportunity. We sponsored one of those homes when they first built that. That's pretty powerful. And so we will be feeding there. And we're excited about it because there are 75 people as of today's census. There are 75 people who are living there. And those people need to eat. And there are people in the park immediately adjacent who need to eat. So we are going to step up. As I said, we're doubling down because we want to make a difference in this and to be of service. So the invitation for you is to get involved in this. If you're wondering how to become an avenue of wholeness, of possibility, of positive change, and to begin to experience that spiritual health within your own life, I want to suggest that this might be the path, or it might be a path. And we have a great time doing this. You know, we make lots of food. My husband will attest to this. Every Saturday night before we come in and feed, I'm in my kitchen marinating chicken legs, and I'm slicing ham and heating up vegetables, and we're doing all of this. And then we all come together, we get to serve people, and it's powerful. It's very, very powerful. So live from that divine feminine. This is the opportunity to live from that divine nurturance and to step forward and to become an open and available channel for the infinite flow of life. Emerson also wrote this. This is my wish for you. Comfort on difficult days, smiles when sadness intrudes, rainbows to follow the clouds, laughter to kiss your lips, sunsets to warm your heart, hugs when spirits sag, beauty for your eyes to see, friendships to brighten your being, faith so that you can believe, confidence for when you doubt, courage to know yourself, patience to accept the truth, love to complete your life. So it's such a beautiful quote, isn't it? So we are here to love. We are here to love. We are here to love. And so today, just to remind you of that, because you are all moms everywhere all at once. So we are going to, as you leave the sanctuary, we'll be giving you hugs and kisses. We will be giving you hugs and kisses. Make sure you get a handful of hugs and kisses. And for those of you who are streaming, my invitation to you is to go out to the grocery store, get some hugs and kisses, and distribute them to the people around you. And feel good about that. You know, just the slightest opening is all Spirit wants, just that slight opening. So I honor all of you on this Mother's Day. I am so, so happy that we get to be together. I bless you, and that's all I have to say. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Let's anchor this in prayer, shall we? So we recognize together that we are here to know, to declare, and to honor, to be that stand of recognition that there is only the one. That one power, that one source, that one divine mind which seeks only to fulfill us, to fulfill through its creations all of the potential, all of the divine possibility by celebrating as love, by celebrating as joy, by celebrating as wholeness, by, yes, celebrating as hugs and kisses and chocolate, because God is that truth about each and every one of us. So as I know that we are connected both with God and each other, I speak my word now for all of us that we are indeed available. We are receptive to that high and holy knowing that we matter, that we indeed live from the awareness that right where we are, God is. That right where we are, Spirit is. That right where we are, that divine Christ nature is. That divine, wonderful Buddha, Namaste nature is. And we celebrate all of it. And we choose to know ourselves now as God knows us. Whole, perfect, loved, complete. So I am certain that this is a word of blessing for this church and for this community, and that as we go forth, we are indeed a blessing in the world. And if there's anyone in your mind or in your mind map right now or in your thinking who is pulling at your attention and your concern, I invite you to just simply embrace them with a hug, with a kiss, with the knowing that right where they are, God is. Right where they are, love is. Right where they are, wisdom, power, presence is fully realized, fully expressing. So we bless this church. We bless all churches, all paths to God, all ashrams, temples, synagogues, mosques, all paths to God. For we know that we are here to celebrate being one with the one, and we honor it in everyone. And know that as we do so, we rise, together we rise, and we lift each other in this beautiful, beautiful thing we call life. So in gratitude, I release this word to spiritual law, knowing it is so now. And together we say, Amen. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So now is when we invite your tithes, your gifts, your love offerings. I invite you to take your gift, to hold it to your heart, and to say with me the affirmation which is in your bulletin. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly.
Happy Mother's Day. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all the ways to be thankful every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this blessed day, for all the good that comes my way. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Gracias, danke, merci, mahalo. Grazie, che, alligato. Two simple words that clearly say I'm grateful for each brand new day. Thank you, Sam. All right.
And can I just say, before Sam steps up here, I get to go home with a guitar player.
And he gets to go home with you.
Oh.
I'm just saying. How about that band? Woo! What a group of talented musicians and the lovely Suzanne Edward Martins. And you, madame, were extraordinary. I've been called a mother before, but never in such loving context. I'm feeling better about it already. Whew. Should be no surprise that I'm up here to give you the announcements. It's always a joyous moment. If this is your first time at church, we are delighted you are here. Please stop by the welcome table on the patio outside that wall to pick up a packet of information made just for you. You can make donations to our church through the text to give number, a QR code on the brochure, or through our website, nhcrs.org/give. Prayer with a practitioner is available after service and in person here and on Zoom. Every Sunday morning at 9:45, our junior church is open to children, kids, toddlers, teens, and in between, and they are thriving. It is a wonderful ministry. Wednesday night healing service with Reverend Stephen Rambo. Meditation at 6:50, service at 7 p.m. Join us for a very special evening as we welcome Reverend Stephen Rambo to NHCRS. His topic, Be Who You Is. And he'll be sharing wisdom from the tombstone of the unknown cowboy. That's a first for me. Finding your curiosity piqued? Good. We understand Reverend Stevens is too. He invites you to join him as together we see where this cowboy wisdom takes us. All right. Gourmets for God update. Please pick up your tickets today. Visit the Gourmets for God table, which is also outside this wall, to pick up and pay for your tickets and check out the events with tickets that are still available. Thank you. In observance of Mother's Day, our Good Gossip Club with Nikki Savar, RSEP, will not be meeting today. Nikki looks forward to seeing you all next month on Sunday, June 11th. Our Grief Support Group with Carol Winokur, practitioner Carol Winokur, meets today at 1 p.m. on Zoom. And now, for something completely different, Seba Moore Doucette.
Hi. So I wanted to tell everybody, remember the Creative Arts Ministry that brought you that wonderful reading of Harvey? Anybody was there? Well, now we're bringing you a short film festival. And it is with the people of our church community are the wonderful filmmakers. And this is, I didn't want to forget anything. It's going to be next week, right? On Saturday, the 20th. So if you would please get your tickets early, they're $20, but it comes with a hot dog and some wonderful treats and a bag of popcorn. Because what's a movie without popcorn, right? And there's going to be a Q&A after with the filmmakers. And all of the filmmakers are of our church community. They're all part of us. So yes, I'm one of them. So you can come to the, there's a table out on the patio, and there are posters, and we may give you a little treat. So come, and you can get, did I say you can get these online, the tickets online?
You did not yet. I think you just did.
You can get the tickets online, or you can get them right here. And it's going to be an evening of wonderful fun, and it's for teenagers and adults.
What time?
5 to 7.
Thank you.
Saturday. So it's like going to the movies, a dinner show, and everything, okay? So come outside and have fun.
Something different. Scientific Christian Mental Practice class, part 2 with Dr. Mark Vieira. Don't worry if you didn't take part 1. Dr. Mark will catch you up in the first evening. Join Dr. Mark for this life-changing 7-week class beginning Monday, June 5th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Zoom only. This class will help you establish a foundation for healing and wholeness in every area of your life. Sign up online, where? Or on the patio. Zoom virtual patio before and after Sunday, Wednesday services. Zoom meditation every morning, Monday through Sunday from 7:55 to 8:15 a.m. Visit our website, NHCRS.org, to obtain Zoom links and more info about all our events. Thank you.
All right. So I want to invite our practitioners to come forward. And if you are in need of prayer or spiritual support, they are here for you. This has been a great day. Don't forget to get your chocolate.
Let's all stand and sing the peace song. 1, 2, 3.
Would you repeat after me? I am at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. And I'm getting hugs and kisses.